Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. So there's I wanna I don't know how to word this, but when it comes to the salams, and with some people it may ease their heart, and in some it may help people to learn something that they possibly didn't know. So when it comes to the salams, are we obligated when we see another Muslim? Are we obligated? Is it mandatory that we salam them? No, it's not. It's the best thing to do. It's recommended to do, right? And there's a reward if you say the salams first. Now this is with a Muslim, your Muslim brother, somebody in the fold of Islam. Alright? So let's see who the obligation falls on. So, and I'm saying that just by starting off to say, if some Muslim don't salam you back, they don't salam you first, or they don't salam you back when you salam them, don't feel no way about it, right? If they don't want your salams, don't feel no way about it, okay? Now we're going to touch two things, because we're going to start with the Quran ayat to see who the obligation falls on. And when you understand this, then you might take my position, right? Which I'm not forcing anybody to take it. I'm not saying this is the best thing to do, but this is from the deen. So let me go on. So in surah number 4, ayat number 86, this is Allah Azza wa Jal. This is a command from Allah Azza wa Jal. Some people don't understand this, and they're like, I've been having this discussion with Muslims probably 15 years, right? And when people go to look for dalil and how to discuss it, they don't start with the Quran first, right? I mean, I have yet to find one that started with the Quran first. So, when it comes to the Quran ayat, when you are greeted with a greeting, then return it. So, when you are greeted with a greeting, the obligation to return it falls on the person. So this is a command from Allah. But then Allah Azza wa Jal continues and said, return the greeting with a greeting that's better. Or at the very least, return the greeting equally. First order, return the greeting with a greeting that's better. If you don't return it with a greeting that's better, then equally. This is a command from Allah Azza wa Jal in the Quran. So, if somebody says Assalamu alaikum to you, and you say nothing, y'all in the grocery store, y'all at the park, y'all at the masjid, and you say nothing, you violated the first command from Allah Azza wa Jal that says, return it with a better greeting. So first you done violated that. then if you're not going to do that, at least return it equally. So if you don't do that and then you say nothing at all, you done violated 3 commands from Allah Azza wa Jal. What's the violation? 1, return the greeting. Return the greeting. Right? Acknowledge it. Head nod. Something. If you're not going to do better or equal, at least acknowledge. Don't give a dirty look. Giving a dirty look, acting like nothing was ever said to you. See, these things put you in a position to be punished by Allah Azza wa Jal, starting from Quran al-Kareem first. So, this is the position that I started to take. Right? When years ago, when I used to salam foreigners, and they could be as close to me as my hand is, and I'll salam them, and they'd give me a dirty look. They'd, possibly turn like this and walk away, say absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. Years ago, it used to hurt my feelings. Because I knew, in the beginning, I knew it was because I was an African American. But this is before going to the masjid. This was even before Salah. So, I'm not going to say it was justifiable. But once I got in and started learning and studying, and unfortunately, I'm not going to name which one it is because this is YouTube, but one particular madhab for sure actually has written in it that when a person has darker skin, you can treat them a particular way. In a madhab. Especially like with friends, companionship, and marriage. How somebody skin color, and I'm not saying race, because you could come across Indian, Pakistani people that's darker than me. You can come across Egyptians that's darker than me. You can come across Arabs that's darker than me. So it isn't based off race alone, but off the color of their skin. Somehow, in a particular madhab, if this person's skin color and befriending them and dealing with them a certain type of way, if it's going to cause a problem with the Muslims that you are the same color as, then you don't necessarily have to be social with them. You don't have to befriend them. If your parents find a husband or a female and their skin is too dark for you, although they may check all the boxes for marriage, male or female, but because their skin is darker, you could refuse the marriage. Yeah. Or if they marry you, right, your wali, for the sister, the wali, marry you off to a brother, you doing negotiation with letting your wali do it, but you haven't seen the brother. Like how sometimes it happened overseas, or definitely back in the day. And then when you finally meet the person, if their skin is too dark, you could go to the Islamic court and have them grant you a divorce because the person's skin is too dark. And this can cause issues with compatibility. You know what? Your skin too dark. We're not going to be compatible in marriage or incompatible in friendships. We're not going to be compatible to be companions in the masjid. Yeah. Now, it's a slippery slope because you can see where the racism comes out, where it's going to be with race, because they may be the exact same color as you. They may be a little bit darker than you, but they can apply these concepts from their mazhab because now they done place dark skin on race. This is known facts. I'm not bringing this up to cause any issues, but just dig into it. I'm not going to say which madhab it is, but this is in their madhab. Okay? So sometimes they not salaming you, and I'm going to read off a couple of things where they won't salam you back. Okay? Because of some of the things their reasoning is really trifling. Now, me, I understand y'all violating the commands of Allah. Right? True, I am going to get the biggest reward if I salam you first. But why do I want what that reward is, that hasanat, at the expense of some punishment coming to another Muslim brother or sister? Because I don't want that punishment for them. I know what they up against. And it's not going to change anything. And it could do something, but it really can put more enmity in between our hearts. But sometimes the only thing that be, not just me, because like I said, I've been having this conversation for years. And I used to do it. Well, I get a reward. But when it comes to your intentions and sincerely, I want for a Muslim what I want for myself. And what I don't want for myself is to be punished by Allah. So there's more of a reward for that. Because one, you don't want to bring no harm to another Muslim. Two, you already know they acting snotty and snaggly, and you still want good for them. And you still want good for them. You understand? You still want good for them, especially when you know they coming from a place that doesn't involve Islam. Especially when you know they coming from a place that goes against the deen of Islam. But what they may be doing is what they madhab tell them to do. So they don't think they doing anything wrong in some cases. This is what they've been taught. That's why I had to explain to another brother he did an Instagram video talking about how do you pray with another Muslim. You see him praying in the masjid with you. You see him at Jum'ah with you, and you doing all this praying and stuff with him, but how can you still have racism in your heart towards them? And I had to explain to him on his reel. Sometimes it ain't even about racism. Sometimes they just don't like you. They just don't like you. Just like you can see two African Americans that might not salam each other because they don't like each other. Sometimes they just don't like you, man. It ain't always necessarily racism. And sometimes it comes from their madhab. So look at this right here. Look at this. And I want to give y'all the slippery slope. So once I started having these conversations with them years ago and seeing all the, well, we didn't see you at our masjid for 3 Jum'ahs, so it's not permissible to salam somebody that missed 3 Jum'ahs. But how do you know they missed 3 Jum'ahs? They was just not at your masjid. You don't know if they missed 3 Jum'ahs. You don't know if they was sick. You don't know if they had something going on that they couldn't attend Jumar. You don't know. You ain't asking them. You know what I'm saying? And it really, because I seen them do it to other people, and I didn't care nothing about it. But then there was a time when I came, I had missed, actually me and another brother, we started driving to the next city over and going to Jumar in the next little city over. And then we was going to a couple of different little small cities that's, 30 minutes away, 40 minutes away, and getting a feel for their masjids. And when we came back, some of the African Americans wasn't salaming us. And it was like, man, what's up? Like, you know what I'm saying? Because we going to deal with the African Americans different than them. We expect that from them. Man, what's up, man? Didn't you hear me salam you? Like, what's this? Oh, well, you ain't been here for 3 Jumars. They said we couldn't salam you because you ain't been here for 3 Jumars. You missed 3 Jumars. And that's when my conversation shifted to them. Y'all don't understand y'all deen, man. Y'all just know words on paper. But anyway, then as we started to conversate and I started to learn a little bit more from the madhab, and I was like, y'all something else, man. So like, look at this right here. Right? So one of their sheikhs was asked, is a person always obligated to return someone's salam? Quran al-Kareem? Yeah. As long as you could speak. Right? Now if it's in a situation that's dislike while you're using the restroom, no, they don't have to salam you. You know what I'm saying? While they're using the restroom, because we have an instance where the Rasul said he disliked doing it. Or you salaming somebody while they praying, because it was at one point in time, when you look at the hadiths, it was at a point in time while they was praying, even if it was a sunnah prayer, and somebody walked in to catch the prayer, and like you might be in prostration, they may put their hand down and say salam alaikum, and then you could look up, shake their hand while alaikum salam, and then finish your prayer. Or you could be standing up in your prayer and they salam alaikum, you shake their hand, you stop your prayer, salam alaikum. In a hadith, it said in the beginning when salat first was commanded, like early on, we used to greet each other back during the salat. Then after a certain point, the Rasul told us to stop doing that, and why? And then we stopped. So that's, of course, so we understand that. But some don't, because it was a time when it was permissible. And that time when it was permissible may be in their madhab. So anyway, so the Sheikh says, he quotes another scholar, and I want to do this because I don't want to show which madhab this is. So he quote a scholar from that particular madhab, and in his work, which I'm slightly familiar with, mentioned many instances when one does not need to return the greetings of salam, which would normally be obligatory. So in certain situations where it's obligatory to return the greetings, which Quran al-Kareem is far to return it with something better or equally. But return it, even if you don't even want to say it equally, at least just do like this or something. Not a dirty look. You see what I'm saying? If you don't want to at least do it equally, at least acknowledge it. Right? So, in the first place, it is makruh, not haram, to give salams to someone who is incapable or too busy to reply. So it's just like, if now this is something that you have to judge. They might be with some people, they might be hiding their Islam. Because I done seen some of the Muslims who was higher up there in the job, and they came to our department, and I seen them with them, and he gave me that little look like he was scared. So wallahi, I didn't salam him. You know, I just looked at him, did like this, and kept going. I was driving like a little golf cart through the factory. And then after he got done with them, wallahi, he came and found me. And he thanked me, but he was like, you know, he came and greeted me. But he got away from them. So sometimes you have to use your judgment. Because it could be in a situation, you know, where it might cause some harm to them in their job. People do have racist thoughts towards Muslims in the job field, in the police force, in the military, right? Understandable. So they saying it's disliked to salam somebody in a situation like that, or if they busy and they not really, you know, they in the mix, but of course it might not be too busy to you. Oh man, you know, how busy do you have to be to just say wa alaikum salam? You know what I'm saying? Why yak them something? You know, sometimes we do that, but this is from their point of view, from the madhab, right? Then it says, however, if someone does give salam to them, they not obligated to return it. So sometimes you may salam somebody from a madhab, they may distort this view and not salam you back. We're in a grocery store. Although I got on a thobe, although I got on a Kmart, although I got on a Abaya, although we both look like Muslims, I'm too afraid to salam you back in the store. But they really just don't want to salam you back because they may not respect your Islam, the color of your skin, etc. But look at this right here. In terms of the worldly actions, of course, this includes in the bathroom, or if you see some people having sexual relations, like who's going to salam people that they see them having sexual relations or whatever, unless it's an accident, like you just happen to walk in a house or a room and be like salam alaikum, and they just, you don't know that's what you're going to see, but you're expecting to see a Muslim in there. That's not intentionally salaming people that have sex. But if they're having sex, although they could be like, get out of here, but they can't salam you back because they having sex. Okay, this is them, right? But look at this right here. They also mentioned that it is not obligatory to reply salams to a beggar, since the beggar's intentions is not just to greet you, but it's to ask you for something. This is how to treat the miskin, how to treat the poor. Now, in this community, and now I wanted to mention that because I can say what I want to say right now. Sometimes they don't salam you because they feel like you're going to ask them for something, because you want something, or you're going to try to convince them to buy something, some oils, some candles you've made, you know what I'm saying, leftover candles that you done hustled up because you want to sell Valentine's Day stuff. Now you're going to salam one of them to get them to buy these strawberry smelling heart shaped candles that you got left over from Valentine's Day. Sometimes they don't greet you back because to them you up to something. So they mad at whether they calling you a beggar. Like I said, the lines can get blurred and they can use their judgment. You miskin, you a beggar. I don't respect your Islam. Black people aren't real Muslim. Y'all nation of Islam. Y'all gang member. Y'all follow prison Islam. You follow War of Deen Islam. So I don't have to salam you back. So when you know that this is their mentality, and you know that they're not going to salam you back, cool, alhamdulillah, get the reward. But me, I know they're going to get punished for that. And I don't want a reward at the expense of their punishment, and I can get a greater reward for that. We don't have to salam each other. We don't. And see, a lot of times with us, we feel like they protect us. If we see a foreign sister or a foreign brother and they got their daughter or some kids with them, and they at a grocery store, and it could be one of the stores, food stores that's in the hood, we'll have a watchful eye over them, even if they don't salam us. You know what I'm saying? We'll even have a mentality of help them put their groceries in the car. But sometimes we won't do it because we know it's gonna scare some of them. They're gonna think we want to take their purse. They're gonna think we want their wallet, even if they see us in the masjid. This is just a reality, and I'm not saying worldwide, but that reward don't mean so much to me at the expense of the punishment that you're gonna bring on yourself, especially when we don't know what that punishment is. So if they don't want the salams, and they have some type of filthy, raggedy, snaggletooth reason in their head for not salaming you back, you don't have to salam them. Be a greater Muslim and want for them what you want for yourself. Don't bring more punishment on them that they already incurring. That's just me, though. That's just me. Because I'm going to be honest, at one particular point in time, I would intentionally salam them, knowing they weren't going to salam me back so that they would get punishment. But then it made me have to really sit down and think and reflect once I got a better understanding. You ain't no better than them, huh? One, you want a reward, and two, you want them to be punished. What kind of heart you got? You ain't no better than them. You salaming them for the reward. not for the sake of salaming them. You chasing the reward, for one, and for two, you trying to get them punished. You know what I'm saying? One, you chasing the reward. You only salaming them for the reward. Knowing that salam is a dua. You don't even mean the dua up on them. Why do you not mean the dua up on them? Because you're trying to get them punished. And when we say assalamu alaikum, assalamu alaikum, we know we're making dua to Allah to bless them with the kind of peace that only Allah can give. How am I sincere about that? And I want you to get punished for not salaming me back. Because I know it's a racial undertone. I know it's some old snotty, snaggletooth reason for you not salaming me back. So now I want you punished. But I ain't nobody. I know the obligation in the Quran. So to save all that hassle, and I know you don't want the salams, I ain't gonna salam you. I see you, you see me. If somebody try to harm you, I'll do what I can. And I just hope you don't have me in a thing where my ignorance come out where I say, hey, leave them alone. At the very least, hey man, leave them alone, man. When I could have been like, come on man, get out of here, man. But I might just let it go on. Hey, leave them alone, and then go on by my business. Which I don't think that I will be like that, because I'm telling y'all, man, what make me say that? What put me in that mindset? It was a brother. If some of them seen him in public, they wouldn't salam him. He barely got salamed at the masjid. So one of them was getting their basement redone, getting the basement finished, carpeted rooms, You know, they get in their basement, turning it into an extension of their house. Well, the contractor, when he got in the house, he seen that they was Muslim and all that. He was a racist white guy. So he was going to be painting the walls and stuff. So while he was painting and testing paint colors, he wrote something on it like, I hate Islam, death to Muslims. He wrote a couple of things of racism and stuff like that on each wall. So, and this guy happened to be a doctor. His name was Dr. Siddiqui, right? Indian Pakistani dude, right? So when he seen this, he called one of the brothers. He didn't call the foreigners, right? He called his brother named Abdul Wahid. Wahid go over there while the contractor was there, seen the stuff on the wall, no conversation. Instantly uppercut dude to the rib section. Holding his head, giving him about 5-6 shots to the body. Dude almost wanted to throw up. Then he just beat the brakes off a dude to where dude left all his tools, everything, ran up out of the house screaming. Wallahi, this is a true story that happened here. He ran up out of the house screaming. They got mad at him. Why did you put your hands on him? I didn't call you for that. One Salamani he had keys to the masjid. They pulled a snake move, kicked him off the board, took his keys from him. You know what I'm saying? But when you needed somebody to call because, dude, you was scared in the house that dude was going to do something, he came and demonstrated. Because we had that protective nature. And then you went right back to mistreating them, man. Yeah, Islam no good. That's that prison Islam. You know what I'm saying? But he may have done something that Allah was pleased with. And by him being a brother and talking to him, he said he didn't even have no intentions on going over there putting his hands on dude. He finna go over there and be like, come on, man, you gotta leave. But when he walked in there and seen death to Muslims and I hate Islam painted all on the walls, his body took over. I ain't gonna say Qadr of Allah because I want to be careful with my words, but he said his body took over. His body didn't let him have control of his body back until dude was running out of the house screaming. And the guy was bigger than him. So it wasn't like he beat up a little dude. He beat up a big construction guy. So although they won't salam you, and like I say, in a masjid here, I'm going to tell y'all something, a trauma for me. I don't call the adhan. I have never once called the adhan in these masjids here because they feel like that's a black person job because of Bilal. You can't lead the salat. Like wallahi, if one of the African Americans jump up and try to lead the prayer, they'll go to another room and be like, no, get out of the way. You can't lead the prayer. You can only call the adhan and the iqamah. When they have the dinners, Ramadan, whatever, if you African American, you can't bring no food. And when it's all over with, they get all the African Americans to clean the masjid. And it's cloaked under, because of your skin color, I could treat you this way. We could take your whole masjid, not salam you, and steal your masjid from you. And it's permissible because 1, your skin color, 2, we don't respect your Islam. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like this right here. with people of color and all the racism we have to deal with over our lifetime with white people, we're not running up on them happy-go-lucky trying to force some type of interaction out of them. It ain't no different just because they Muslim. And then you really put them in a position, you just have to boil it down. Man, it's enough on them. They deem, when you understand the punishments of Allah, you know it's some type of punishment on them, because one, they don't even want to salam another Muslim. They don't even want to. So it ain't like you done something that gave them a reason, your color of your skin. I've never seen you at my masjid, or I've seen you a couple of times, but I ain't seen you for 3 Jumars. Just making up any excuse to validate it. To me, those is punishments from Allah. Because you missing the blessings when you had the right sincerity, and secondly, you inquiring more punishment on you. You understand? So, and people should read the tafsirs from this ayat, because in this tafsir, it also goes into initiating the salams with non-Muslims. Now you think about that. How you shouldn't initiate the salams with non-Muslims. When they don't respect your Islam and think you war of deen, or think you this and think you that, it's not permissible to initiate the salams with you. It's just a lot of things, man, that people just have to know about their deen, man. And what people think of you, and you're not going to change it. And then if we get caught up in chasing rewards, that's just me, man. I don't want punishment for another Muslim, man. And wallahi, I'm not making no excuse. This is something that came to me because I got caught up in over salaming them, just so that they wouldn't salam me back, so that they would get punishment. I get a reward, you get punishment. Ha ha. That's un-Islamic when you really think about it. I'm just as bad as you for real. It just looked better. You see what I'm saying? So that's just to clarify for people. I ain't telling nobody to take no position, but don't feel no way, man, because we're not obligated to salam each other. It's the best thing to do. Now, when somebody is salam, yes, now you obligated from the words of Allah Azza wa Jal, you have to return it. You have to return it with something better, or at least equally. And then if you can't do it equally because of what's in your heart, at least acknowledge it. Like I said, at least do a head nod, or a wave, a salute. At least do something if you can't do the equally. So the obligation is on returning it, not initiating it. We do know the commands, about spreading the salam, but these is things with people who want it. Hey, we don't want your salams. You're a beggar. Just imagine that. Like even that, being in the madhab. In our madhab, we don't return the salams of beggars because their salam isn't real. It isn't true. They just want to ask for something. When your religion tells you to give to them people, they shouldn't have to ask. You see a Muslim laid out on the corner, and you throwing away plates of food. You throw away more food in 2 days than that person then ate in 2 weeks. But from your madhab, not only not give them anything, don't even salam them back, because they're going to ask you for something. How un-Islamic is that? But I don't want to make it about that. So sometimes, man, You don't want that behavior to rub off on you and it just look different. Like I said, my own personal experience, me, and I'm not saying this is what everybody else do. I'm finna start over salaming you. And I'm gonna add a smile, some extra sugar and everything. Assalamu alaikum. Punishment for you, goofy. Reward for me. Ha ha. Jokes on you. You need to go learn your religion. But I'm really returning their energy in the wrong way. And that's why I stopped doing it. That's why I stopped doing it, man. Because how was that sincerity? I'm on some underhanded stuff that look better. Nah, man, a Muslim ain't supposed to do that. So, just be careful with it, man. If they don't want your salams, and you don't know no better, you don't really know them, you salam, and they don't salam you back, alhamdulillah, man. Barakallah feek. You know what I'm saying? May Allah reward you. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. But, then that's, after that, for me, it's a done deal. Because I know my salams after that isn't with good intention. No matter how I try to hide it. My intentions is salam you and get the biggest reward. No, Allah know better. Yeah, I do want the big reward, but my salam ain't sincere. and the undertone is, I want you to get punished by not salaming me back. That's un-Islamic to me. You know what I'm saying? Because what they say, the Muslim is the one that Muslims is safe from their tongue and safe from their harm. I'm trying to harm you. I want Allah to punish you because you had a nerve to not salam me back. Like, I ain't who I think I ain't nobody. But I know what the Quran say. So my intentions and sincerity wasn't good, and I know it wasn't. So I'm not getting a reward anyway. I'm not getting a reward anyway. And then that punishment could have reversed on me. Yeah, look at you trying to punish your Muslim brother. Now you get a taste of it. You just have to be careful, man, when it comes to Islam, man. You know, if they want to be all raggedy and snaggle-tooth minded and act like a whatever, and I take that back because some people be snaggletooth. I'm using it not like how it is, but in a way that some ways that we use it, and that could be derogatory to someone who really is snaggletooth, but I don't mean it like that. So let me take that back. Astaghfirullah, astaghfirullah, astaghfirullah for every time that I said it. But anyway, man, it's just about growth. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.